Oh, look! I guess we're out of bars. Now it's time to sing like Drake usually does on his projects. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Svetz Series. Josh Svetz here, and we're talking part 2, Drake's B-side of his latest release, Scorpion. If you haven't checked out part A, link is in the description. It is also right above my head here on that little card. And with that, let's go. So, quick recap. I enjoyed the A side. I thought there was some pretty solid bangers, lively production, and a couple moments of self-awareness, growth, and maturation from Drake. Overall, I gave it a B-, and I think that I'll save at least a couple of those songs on my Spotify saved songs. But after hearing the B side, I take back that growth comment. A lot of these tracks sound like they just couldn't make more life or views, and Drake just left that crap in the vault and just thought, oh, I'll release this later. My fans will love it. So yes, essentially, we are consuming Drake's trash here. The first track is just forgettable. There's nothing special about it, production-wise, lyric-wise, beat-wise, nothing. It's just completely forgettable. But things do pick up quickly with Summer Games. I like the bouncy production, reverb-filled bass, and the tight 808s. I also get this melodic pop-punk R&B fusion vibe, meaning that I feel the way the track is delivered and just the overall lyrics could easily be moved into a pop-punk song and work just as well. And the build-up is sublime with these explosive kicks and this very dope repeating refrain. Breaking my heart, breaking my heart, breaking, break. But then we drop off again with Jaded. This is a weird song. Now, I don't think the production's bad. I don't even think the lyrics are necessarily terrible. But after knowing what the song's actually about, I can't help but cringe. It's about Georgia Smith, who Drake may have had a small thing for at one point. Instead, he turns this small encounter into this big song. And he really cuts her down on this track, saying things like, "Come back when you're famous. You had potential. I could have molded it. You're old enough, but still a baby." And this one's good. "You want to get with me? Stop faking." Dude, she has a boyfriend. Like, they've been together for a few months at this point. I don't think she wants to get with you. I think you can't get over her. And you got a kid. Get the fuck over this girl. And then I see so much hype for this ratchet happy birthday track. I don't know. I don't really get it. Other than the actual title of the song, I think that's kind of cool. That's interesting. What's special about it? Is it the average production? Is it the boring lyrics? Is it Drake talking about a girl that, oh, she just wants to have fun, but she also wants someone at home, and she just can't seem to get it? Haven't we heard that shit from him at least, like, I don't know, 50 other times at this point? It's getting old. Granted, the ad-libs are pretty cool. There's some interesting effects. He does the little Kanye West like type thing. But it's not enough to save the song by any means. It's skippable. But again, things do pick up with That's How You Feel. This very atmospheric, spacey, open-produced track that features this really dope flow on the bridge. And I just like the vibe overall to this. I'm also digging those quick tapping 808s. But again, as soon as Drake starts to build a little bit of momentum, it comes to a screeching halt. And that comes in the form of the lazy, auto-tuned, boring blue tint, which features an awful feature from Future. And dude, can we just cancel Future at this point? Like, it's 2018. He almost ruined King's Dead. I say he's canceled. In fact, somebody hit up Future, let him know I said he's canceled. Because he's not watching this video, obviously. Duh. And then In My Feelings features several different beat switches and samples and mixes, and it just doesn't work. It's trying to be this super ambitious track, but comes off more like something the Black Eyed Peas would have made when they were doing stuff like I'ma Be. Not to mention, it also comes off like Drake was in the studio and his boys were chilling. They were listening to what was going on, and every time we're like, no, dog, nah, that doesn't work, nah, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. So they kept trying to switch the samples, switch the mixes, and it never worked. It was just an L the whole time. So they just cluster-fucked it all together, and that's what you get. This trash song. But the worst of this album is easily the boring, tedious, and uninspired Don't Matter to Me. Drake wasting a Michael Jackson feature should be a crime. Again, this legit sounds like it just wasn't good enough to make views or more life, and he just pushed it onto this and released it. No, I'm not bitter. I'm not okay. Why he do this to King of Pop, man? Why do you do this? What the... Honestly, I came to a crossroads here. I was ready to just turn this shit off. So much nothing. Just so much nothing. I just wasn't getting anything out of this. But then, After Dark comes, and it features an excellent offering from Ty Dolla $ign. I love the way that they mix his vocals in and then eventually give him a full verse. If anyone brings this track down, it's Drake. And I actually like the final track's narrative on March 14th. He opens up about hearing that he was actually going to be the father, and even has another inkling of self-awareness and self-reflection where he mentions that he used to be so bitter with his parents for being single parents, and now he's in the same boat. Embarrassing not because he's a single parent, but because he was so critical and bitter about his parents, and now he's in that same boat and he feels like a hypocrite. It's one of the few times in the B-side where Drake is actually being self-reflective and legitimately introspective, intellectually self-aware. It's a breath of fresh air in this sea of just retread, same tracks, stuff that we've heard from Drake before. But with that said, no, the B-side is the bad side. Granted, I like Feels Drake. I really enjoyed Take Care. I enjoyed some of the sing-songy stuff on Nothing Was the Same. Even a couple tracks on More Life. But no, this is some of his worst R&B ever. Ever. Truthfully, it's some of the most monotonous, uninspired, and especially bitter content that we've ever heard from him. Some of these tracks are plain unfinished, and that's just not acceptable at this point in his career. Like, did he only care about a couple of these tracks and just threw the rest on? I get that vibe. I feel like that's what he did. Some of these just... Where was the time? Where was the effort? Where was the ghost writers? Ugh. Okay, no sugarcoating this. It's a bold D+. You know, I liked a couple tracks off of this, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to come back to many of these songs. I thought some of the elements he used were cool, but it's not enough for a full project. And as for the album as a whole, it started off pretty good with that A-side, but the B-side really drags it down. It's 25, 26 tracks. That's a lot of songs. You can't miss that much with that much material. I probably like, I don't know, 12 tracks off the full album, and that's counting the singles. If he just would have pulled 8 tracks from the B-side and 8 tracks from the A-side, this could have been a pretty good project. But he did not do that. And this is also coming from me with the album only being out a day. Me listening to it 5 to 10 times through. The Drake fatigue factor has not hit yet, so I imagine the amount of songs that I like probably will go down. Still, I liked enough on this full album to give it a bold C. Sorry, Drake fans. It's okay. It's better than More Life still. And it's way better than Views. But it's nothing to write home about. It's fine. But what did y'all think? Comment below and make your voice heard. Like, subscribe, and don't be afraid to criticize. This has been the Svetz Series review. Comment below so I know what you think too.